Today, we're going to talk about something really interesting. It's a model that's trying to solve two of America's biggest, most expensive problems, all at the same time with one single idea. And it all kicks off with this really powerful question. What if these two massive problems, our prison system and our struggling workforce, what if they weren't actually separate issues at all? What if they were two sides of the very same coin? So let's dig into what exactly these crises look like. Okay, first up, let's talk about the just staggering cost of mass incarceration. I mean, look at this number, $80 billion every single year. That is just a massive drain on our resources. And get this, that number doesn't even touch on the economic hit we take by just locking millions of people out of the workforce. And then, happening at the exact same time, we've got this other crisis brewing. We're looking at a future, by 2030, in fact, where there could be 2.1 million manufacturing jobs just sitting empty, unstaffed. We have this huge skills gap, and companies are seriously struggling to find people to do the work. So, there you have it. That's the dual crisis. On one hand, you've got a huge population of people completely locked out of opportunity. And on the other hand, you have an economy that is desperate, and I mean desperate, for skilled workers. They seem like totally separate problems, right? But are they really? Well, the root of this whole thing really starts inside the prison system itself. You see, for so many people who are incarcerated, getting any kind of job training, it's just not on the table. It's not even an option. In fact, many of them have never even been offered the chance to join a program. That's just a huge, huge missed opportunity to help people get back on their feet. And this just makes the challenge they face when they get out that much harder. Think about it. Even when people do the work to get their high school credentials inside, the job market they're re-entering is totally different. The number of low-skill jobs has just cratered. So a diploma by itself, it's just not enough to get a foothold anymore. So what's the end result of all this? A pretty shocking unemployment rate of 27% for people who've been incarcerated. To put that in perspective, that's higher than the U.S. unemployment rate at the absolute worst point of the Great Depression. It's a vicious cycle, and it's incredibly tough to escape. And all of this leads us to what you could call the opportunity gap, right? It's that empty space between what a person is capable of and their actual ability to get the skills to make it happen. But it's right in this gap where a really innovative solution is starting to take shape. So let's talk about CMTech. What is it? Well, it's a learning framework for people in prison. But here's the key difference. It was built from the ground up by a team that is 100% justice impacted. That means every single person on the team has firsthand personal experience with the system. They offer tuition-free technical education, and it's all designed with the kind of real-world wisdom you can only get from having lived it. And this right here, this is their core philosophy. It's a total shift in how you look at things. Instead of seeing people as remedial students who need fixing, CMTech treats them like emerging professionals, like future colleagues. That approach builds dignity and motivation right into the very fabric of the program. Okay, so how do they actually do it? Their teaching method is really, really smart. It's a 6-step process. First, they hook you with a real-world problem. Then they activate what you already know, which is great for building confidence. Then comes the instruction and practice, the nuts and bolts. After that, they connect those skills to actual careers, so you see the point of it all. And finally, they finish with reflection to really make it stick. It's this complete, full-circle way of learning. So let's take a look at how this method actually creates a totally new kind of school, one that can work, and work well, inside the very unique world of a prison. CMTech has this really brilliant 2-part model. First, there's the digital learning. They've got their courses on tablets in more than 1,400 facilities, which means they can reach a ton of people. But, and this is key, they combine that with something called CMTech Charters. These are basically peer-led learning groups. It brings that in-person classroom feel and, keeps everyone accountable to each other. And the really important thing about these charters, it's not just about learning the technical stuff. They are specifically designed to build up all those soft skills that employers are always talking about. Things like leadership, teamwork, how to communicate effectively, and problem solving. I mean, these are the skills that really make someone a great employee. Okay, so now you've got the hard skills from the courses and the soft skills from the charters. What's the next step? This is where technology comes in to connect the dots. CMTech works with an AI platform called Bluecore. What it does is it actually interviews every single graduate over the phone before they're released. It checks their technical knowledge, sure, but it also listens for communication skills and figures out their work preferences to match them with the perfect job. And just like that, this partnership turns the whole thing from just another education program into a direct, powerful pipeline straight from prison into the workforce. And the numbers don't lie. This approach flat out works. The data shows that this kind of vocational education is the single best way to reduce recidivism. That's the chances of someone going back to prison. But not only that, it's also the most cost-effective. We're talking about thousands of dollars in net savings for society for every single person who goes through it. It's a total win-win. Now, flip the coin and look at the other side of the equation, the demand. Right now, there are almost 400,000 open jobs in construction. We're losing thousands of electricians every single year. The workforce is getting older, and it's creating this massive, desperate need for exactly the kind of skilled workers that CMTech is training. And for the companies doing the hiring, let's be clear, this isn't about charity. This is a smart business move. It's a competitive advantage. They get access to a workforce that is already trained and highly motivated. And on top of that, there are federal programs that make it even more of a no-brainer. The Work Opportunity Tax Credit gives them a tax break, and the Fidelity Bonding Program is basically free insurance that covers them, removing any of the perceived risk. And that brings us right back to where we started. We began with two problems that seemed totally disconnected, our prison crisis and our workforce crisis. And what we found is one powerful, single solution that tackles both at the same time. I want to leave you with this thought from Thomas Edison. He said, opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. And that just perfectly sums up what CMTech is all about, doesn't it? The chance to solve these huge problems, it's been right there in front of us the whole time, just kind of hiding in plain sight. It just took someone to look at a group of people and see untapped potential where everyone else just saw problems.